The ocean looks wide open until you try to squeeze 12% of global trade through a trench in the Egyptian desert. In 2021, a single gust of wind pushed a massive container ship into the banks of the Suez Canal. For nearly a week, that one localized mistake vaporized $10 billion in global trade every single day. To understand the sheer scale of what normally flows without interruption, look at the Trans-Pacific route. 21 million shipping containers cross from Asia to North America every year, feeding directly into mega-hubs like the Port of Los Angeles. The transatlantic route carries the most critical, high-value cargo on the planet. This lane flows a steady stream of pharmaceuticals, precision machinery, and cars between the European Union and the United States. We tend to picture global commerce as a limitless web stretched across the deep blue. The reality is far more fragile. The interconnected global economy is entirely dependent on a handful of terrifyingly narrow, invisible physical lanes. This extreme efficiency has secretly turned the modern world's greatest logistical achievement into its primary vulnerability. Nowhere is this geographic squeeze tighter than the Strait of Malacca. Roughly 70,000 ships pack themselves into this narrow stretch of water between Malaysia and Indonesia annually. 40% of all global trade has to physically wedge itself through this single, highly congested corridor. A few thousand miles west, the stakes shift from consumer goods to baseline survival. The Strait of Hormuz is the central artery for the world's energy supply. Because 20% of global oil exports flow right through this exact spot, international energy markets treat it as a tripwire. Even the rumor of a brief closure sends prices spiking worldwide. You even see this dynamic hiding in plain sight between the UK and continental Europe. The English Channel quietly handles over 500 ships every single day, making it the busiest maritime highway on the map. These choke points prove a very uncomfortable fact. Global wealth is captive to physical geography. A localized disruption in any of these narrow straits almost instantly triggers a severe shortage on a completely different continent. We try to engineer our way out of these physical limits, but our greatest shortcuts still answer to the earth. Take the Panama Canal. This chart shows the stark reality of the canal's recent operations. Slicing through Panama saves ships about 8,000 nautical miles. But across 2023 and 2024, severe drought dropped water levels so drastically that authorities had to throttle transit capacity, causing shipping delays to skyrocket. Where nature leaves off, human conflict takes over. The South China Sea is another absolute necessity for the global economy, carrying roughly 30% of all international commerce. This region operates under constant territorial tension and naval watch between regional powers, forcing tankers to navigate through a perpetual state of military posturing. These intersections serve as active battlegrounds where global commerce is dictated by both unpredictable weather patterns and naval maneuvers. When a primary artery fails, the global supply chain is forced to scramble for vastly inefficient backup routes. Threats in the Red Sea and blockages in the Suez forced the global fleet to take a massive detour around the Cape of Good Hope. Navigating around the southern tip of Africa adds up to 12 days to a standard voyage, driving up fuel costs and delaying essential deliveries. To bypass these vulnerable maritime choke points, countries are investing in modern alternatives. The Trans-Caspian Middle Corridor uses rail, road, and the Caspian Sea to move cargo directly from China to Europe. It handles only 5% of Asia to Europe today, but is backed by the World Bank for rapid expansion. The future of global commerce requires moving beyond an obsession with speed to build a system defined by its absolute resilience. True economic survival depends on a network capable of functioning when the inevitable disruptions occur.